Locomotion is the way that an animal moves around its habitat, and it can look very different depending on where they live. Let's take a look at how chimpanzees move. When chimpanzees move across the ground, they walk on all fours, just like a dog or cat does. This is called quadrupedal locomotion. However, there is a very important difference between the way that chimpanzees walk on all fours and the way that other animals do. Chimpanzees walk on the knuckles of their hands, as if they are making a fist, and the flat part or sole of their feet. This form of locomotion is called knuckle walking, and it helps a chimpanzee to walk comfortably across the ground, even though their arms are much longer than their legs. The way that humans walk on only our 2 feet is called bipedal locomotion. This is because our skull is attached to the rest of our body in a slightly different way than a chimp's is. That allows us to stand straight and move easily using only our 2 back legs. However, chimpanzees can sometimes walk this way too. If a chimpanzee needs to use its arms to carry food or tools, it can walk upright, just like us. They can also stand up like a human to make themselves seem bigger and scare other chimps in something called a dominance display. Males can use this to show other chimpanzees that they are in charge. But walking on 2 legs is not the way that chimpanzees typically move, and they can only walk this way for short periods of time. Another common way that chimpanzees move through their habitat is in the trees. This is important because a lot of the food that chimpanzees eat grows high above the ground in all sorts of fruit-bearing trees. Chimpanzees move through the branches of trees in several ways. All of these different ways are called arboreal locomotion. They can knuckle walk across a branch if it is wide enough, just like when they're on the ground. Chimpanzees are also great at swinging from branch to branch, a movement called brachiation. This is a good way for them to move quickly through one tree's branches or from tree to tree. Have you ever tried to climb a tree? How did you move from branch to branch? An adaptation is a feature that an animal has which helps it to survive in its particular habitat. For example, a chimpanzee's extra long and strong arms help it to move through tree branches with ease. These long arms also impact how they walk when they're on the ground, like we talked about before. Another adaptation that chimpanzees have for movement is their opposable and freely moving big toes, in addition to their opposable thumbs. Sometimes it can be hard to tell if a picture is of a chimpanzee's hand or its foot. They look so similar. We humans have opposable thumbs, but how cool would it be to have opposable big toes too? How do you think our lives would be different? Well, for a chimpanzee, their special big toes help them to grip branches when they're moving through the trees. When you watch a video of a chimpanzee, be sure to notice how important this adaptation is for climbing.